Hello everyone and welcome back to Technology. This week we are going to start our first official assignment, which is pixel art. So you may have worked with pixel art before. We're going to continue looking at conditional formatting and using that to create colors within Google Sheets. I'm going to suggest, if you haven't already been using the classwork tab here, to start using that so that if I have to add a template or something separate, it'll be separated. So I'll show you. If I come up here to classwork, you're going to see that your assignments are listed up here, and then I have a new section that I added down here, which is templates. Because we're going to be working on this assignment over several class periods, you have to keep coming back to the template to work on it. So that's always going to be located here, and then the instructions on what to do each day will be up here. So if I go into my instructions first, which is where you should be to find this video, you'll see the first step says to watch the video that you're watching now. As you watch, I suggest pausing at different points and completing the same steps on your assignment. Then you can go back to the video to complete the next step. And I think this is going to be the best bet for you as you're working through the assignments virtually, is watching the small section, pausing it, going and doing that part on your assignment, and then coming back to the video and watching the next section. And this will kind of help you, just grab small chunks at a time so that I don't get too far ahead. And that's the nice thing about it being recorded, is that you can do, as many steps or as little steps at a time, and then you can always come back and rewatch a section of the video or rewind it. So that's going to be something that you're going to be working on, is figuring out how much can I watch before I need to pause. So at the beginning, I will say, okay, you should pause here and go and do that. And that's what you're going to do. Just pause the video, go do it on your template, and then come back and watch the next part. Okay, so pixel art is something that's fun, that you're going to be looking for a template. And it basically, if you think of Minecraft, or you think of like 8-bit, anything 8-bit where it looks like little tiny cubes that are pictures drawn in these little cubes, that's what pixel art looks like. And we're going to be using Google Sheets to make our own. So the very first thing that it's going to ask you to do is to find a reference picture on Google and upload it to Google Classroom. So that's what we're going to do first. The first thing we're going to do is come over to our tabs up here. We're going to open a brand new tab like that. And then we're going to do a Google search. I'm going to go to google.com so you can say I'm going to do a Google search right in here to find a picture for pixel art. So you can think of anything you want to do. If you want to do a picture of a cat or an ice cream cone or a rainbow or an emoji, whatever it is you want to do a picture of. So let's say I do pixel art. So that's what I'm going to search for. And then I'm going to think of a word. Let's say ice cream. Pixel art ice cream is what I'm going to look for. And then you can see, look at all these images I found. So I want to make sure, see how I'm also in a web search, that I'm going to change this. So I'm only looking at pictures, and that's images. Images is another word for pictures. So when I click on images, it's going to show me all different types. And you can see now, if I click on one, how it's all these little boxes. And this is the picture that I want to create. Or if I look further down, maybe this one's kind of cute. I want to try to make that. So you're going to look through and find what, it doesn't have to be ice cream. It could be anything you want it to be, as long as it's school appropriate, of something that you want to try to create. And I actually really like this ice cream cone, so I'm going to go with this one. So once you've clicked on the ice cream cone, and you can see it in the big picture here, this is where we're going to be saving it from. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to pause the video here, go to Google and find a picture that you like. Once you find a pixel art picture that you like, come back to the video and I'm going to show you the next part. Okay, pause now. Okay, now that you have your picture, what we're going to do is we're actually going to save it. So there's a couple of different ways that we can save the picture. We can either download it onto the computer or copy it to our drive. We're going to just use right click. And if you don't know how to right click on the Chromebook, whoops, did not mean to open it, you're going to use both fingers at the same time. So your pointer finger and your middle finger, the two fingers next to each other, you have to push them both down like you're clicking on the mouse at the same time. And it's going to open up this magic box here. And when you have the magic box, you'll see that one of the options is Save Image As. And I'm going to click on Save Image As, and it's going to open up this box. Okay, once I'm here, you're going to see a lot of times it'll give it a really long, crazy name. You can rename this. So I'm just going to type instead ice cream. And that's it. That way I know what it is. And then I'm going to hit enter to save. And you can see right here that it's saved in my downloads folder. So what I want you to do now is pause again, go back to your Google tab and right click. Remember, 2 fingers at the same time pushing down and see if you can get that save as button and save your file. When you're done saving, come back here. Okay, you can pause now. All right, now that we have this picture saved, I can go ahead and close this tab because I don't need it anymore. So I'm going to hit this X to close it. And now I'm going to go back to my classroom. And what I want to do is I want to add the picture to my classroom. See where it says add or create. So if I go ahead and click add or create, now I have all these options of where I want to add from. And since we saved this, we saved it to the computer. So we're going to add a file. So I can click file. And then it's going to ask me where it came from. I don't know why it came to Drive. Let's try that again. Add a file. Oh, from upload. I don't know why it's showing me from my Drive, but yes, you want it to be an upload. We're going to then browse the upload, and you'll see it's right here, ice cream. It should be on top or somewhere near the top, but it should be exactly what you named it. I named it ice cream. There it is. I'm going to click on it. And I'm going to click open. And then you can see it added my picture. It's adding it right here. There's my image. Now it's part of my assignment. So it's always here for me to look back on. So now I want you to try the same thing. Come over and click add or create. Make sure you're choosing file, choosing upload, and then browse. And you should be able to find your picture right under the downloads folder. So go ahead and attach your picture now. When you're done, I want you to come back to the video and I'll talk to you about the next part. Go ahead and pause now. Okay, good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the template. So you're going to now be creating this picture that you saved. So for instance, this picture of the ice cream cone. We're going to be creating that in a Google Sheet. So I'm going to come back to my classroom and back to where it says classwork. And remember where I showed you that template was down here? You can go ahead and open that template up. And what I did was I created one for everybody. So when I go ahead and open it, you'll see your names. This says Vol Center, but it'll be your name at the top. And now this is your pixel art template that you're going to be working with. So what we would like to do today is actually create the colors that we're going to be using for our picture. So if I go back, and I'm going to go back to my assignment so I can see my picture again, and I look at the picture that I have, this is the picture I'm using, right? I need purple, I need black, I need brown, and I need red. Okay, so these are all the colors that I need to use. So I'm going to come over to Vol Center, my template here. And the first thing you want to do is you want to highlight the entire sheet. So if I click in this upper left-hand corner, see how this all turns blue? This is highlighting. So this is how we talk to our computer. It's like, hey, computer, take a look at this sheet. I want you to do something here. You have to make sure the whole sheet is blue. If it's not, your colors aren't going to work. Like if you're just clicked in a box like this and you go to start a color, your colors won't work anywhere except for this one box. So you need to make sure that you click the corner first. That's the very first step you do. And you highlight the whole sheet. Okay, so what I would like you to do right now is pause the video, go and find your template to open up, and then click this corner box to highlight the whole thing. When you're done, come back and watch the next part of the video. All right, now that you have your Google Sheet open and everything's highlighted, now we're going to start creating colors. And creating colors is actually a lot easier than you think. So there's 2 ways to get to this. You can either go into this corner box again and use that 2-finger click, that right click, to open up your secret menu, and you're going to come down to conditional formatting. Or you can come over to the format right here, and you'll see that conditional formatting is also in this location. So there's 2 different ways, whichever is easier. If you're having a hard time with the right click, just use the format tab and come down to conditional formatting. Okay, again, notice my sheet is still highlighted. So now this window opens up, and this is where we're going to add a color. Okay, so we're going to say add a rule. So notice, because I highlighted everything, it's telling me we're going to apply this to the range. We're going to apply this rule to every cell from A1 to Z26. Everything from A1 all the way down to Z26. This rule is going to work. So that has to say that. Then we're going to change this box to text is exactly. That's the one we want. And we're going to start with the number 1. We're going to make the number 1 a rule. The first color I need is this kind of dark purple color. So now there's 2 places I got to change the color. I'm going to first pick the paint bucket, and I'm going to find something that's a dark purple that I like. And maybe I don't like any of these colors, so I'm going to go and I'm going to pick something that's close to purple. And I'm going to click this custom add, and then I can kind of make my own color. I'm going to make a color that's a little bit more purpley. I like that one. So I'm going to pick that color. Now, once you make the paint bucket purple, you also have to make the text purple. And since I made this cool custom color, it's right here, I can click on it. So now it matches. So you have to make sure both of these are that purpley color or whatever color you're creating. Once you've done that, click done. Okay, so what I want you to do now is hit pause, and you're going to go to your format, conditional formatting to open this window, and make your first color that's you number 1. When you're done, come back here and check out the next part. All right, so that was our purple color, and you can see now I have this new rule that says purple. The next color I need is black, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add a rule. I'm going to change this to text is exactly. Since we already used 1, now we're going to make black number 2, right? We can't use 1 again. So we're going to do black, paint, black, text. So black and black. The number 2, text is exactly. And I click done. Now I have 2 colors. The next color I need is this kind of tan brown color. So exactly the same thing. Add a rule. Text is exactly. This time we're going to use the number 3. Going to make this a kind of tannish brown. So again, there's not really a color I like here. So I'm going to pick a color that's close. And then I'm going to go to custom. And I'm going to adjust it just a little bit. Something that's a little bit more tan to me. I like that color. And then whatever I make the paint bucket, I have to make sure I make the text as well. So click the A for text. And that's going to be tan as well. Click done. And then the last color I need is this rosy red cheek. Add a color. Remember, text is exactly. This is the number 4, so I have 4 different colors, and this we're going to make this red color. So right now, you can go ahead and pause your video and go and make your colors that you need for your picture. Remember numbering them 1, 2, 3, 4. You can keep going 5, 6, 7, however many colors you have, but make all the colors you need for your picture. Once you're done making that, you can come back to this video and I'm going to show you the next step, and then we'll go from there. Go ahead and pause. Okay, so now that all my colors are made, and notice my sheet is highlighted the entire time, right? I never clicked off of this so that this rule works everywhere. It has to say A1 to Z26 under each of these colors. A1 to Z26, A1 to Z, it has to say that. If it doesn't say that, the rule's not going to work, okay? Now, if you look, if I click anywhere and I type the number 1 and move my mouse or my arrow, oh, this is here. I have to get rid of this, sorry. The 1 works for purple. If I click the number 2 and I move it down, I gotta click in the box. Click the number 2 and down, it's black. If I click the number 3 and arrow down, it's tan. If I click the number 4 and arrow down, it's red. So now I can see that my rules are working. No matter where I type a 1, it makes it purple. No matter where I type a 2, it makes it black. So this is how we're going to draw our picture in another class, is by using these numbers to create the picture. Okay, so if you want to test to see if your numbers work, you can type a few numbers in the sheet and then test it to make sure the colors change so that you know that all your colors are working. This is all we're doing today. We'll start actually making the picture in the next class, but today you need to have the picture saved and you need to have the colors made. Once you've done those 2 things, then we can go back, and if we take a look at the assignment, number 3 says create your colors for your picture, at least 3 colors. So take a look at your rubric here. This is showing you how we're grading it. You need to make sure that the picture you chose is at least 3 colors. Okay, you can be more than 3, but you have to have at least 3 different colors. We want to make sure that you're creating your colors correctly, just like I just showed you by using the conditional formatting. That your image is at least 300 pixels. And 300 pixels is not as big as you think. It's basically from the letter T down to the number 15. So this is 300 pixels. So it has to be at least this big. You can make it bigger than this, but this is the smallest that we'd like to see. So something that's, a decent size. And then the last thing is just the effort that you're putting in it, that we're seeing that you're trying. Okay, so that's what we're looking for grading. If you finish early today, you can go ahead and go to typing and type with the free time that you have remaining. We'd like to see 60 minutes by the end of this week. So you typed all last week. You should probably have a good 30 minutes in from last week. And if you take a look up here, you can change this to the last 7 days. And this will show you exactly how many minutes you've typed. So we want to see this around 60 by Friday. So that'll give you plenty of time to get to that number, because you'll be able to type on your free time at the end of each period. All right, as always, if you have any questions, you may go ahead and just leave a comment here, the private comments, and I'll get back to you, or Mr. Cratchwell will get back to you as quickly as we can. And any other than that, you can also send me an email if you get stuck. Okay, good luck. I'm always here if you need any help. Just let me know.